Hello everyone. So in this tutorial we'll create something like this. So recently I came across this music video and I thought like the effect was interesting, like it was an interesting way to show faces or an image, and I thought it is easily achievable also. So uh, these are the things that I made. I thought we can improve upon it also using colors and all. So let's dive into the tutorial. We'll put on a grid and we will make the size of the grid according to our resolution. Mine is like 1920 1080, so I'll keep something like 19.20 10.80, and you can rotate it. Okay, and also you can copy the center value from the size. Paste relative reference by 2, so it stays on the grid. We need a lot of subdivision, so we'll convert the subdivisions into points. So this will be the resolution. We can have something like 70 and 120 maybe. We can change this later. We'll first unwrap UV unwrap it. We'll put UV unwrap node. So you can select stretch. You can visualize UV, I think. So uniform is something like this. We will stretch it and we can reduce the spacing if you want. Then we'll put attribute from map. So this node brings like a texture map or image sequence. So I already downloaded for stock footage and converted it into image sequence. You can use your own stock footage, or also I will give the link to this one in the description. This is a free stock footage. I'll go ahead and load it. So the main thing that you need to notice, the character should be like more, it should be more contrasty from the background. So the background and character should have like uh, as contrast as possible, so the effect will look better. Then we'll put a add node and we will delete geometry, so we have converted into points. First we will create a p-scale attribute. F at p-scale equals chf p-scale. So we are creating this variable, like we can manually adjust the p-scale here. And then what we have to do is we have to convert this color texture into a black and white. We'll put one more attribute triangle. We can use length function to do that. V at cd equals to length of v at cd. So now you can see the color has changed, but we need to also have a control to increase the contrast of the image or decrease the contrast of the image. For now we can just disable this add node, so we see this clearly, and also we can increase the rows and columns temporarily. So we need to create a fit range. We'll fit between source minimum and source maximum to destination minimum and destination maximum. You'll see what I mean. We'll put a fit function and we'll create 4 variables: source minimum, source maximum, then destination minimum, destination maximum. Okay. Min. So now we have like 4 variables. The default will be 0 to 1 to 0 to 1. We'll have the original image and we can start adjusting the source. It's better to adjust the source because we need a destination value of 0 to 1. So we can adjust the source to get more contrasty image. So something like this should work. And then we can transfer back the color back to this one. But before that, we will assign this color to a new attribute called blend. Okay, effect blend equals to, we will take any one of the value from the C, we will take X value. So right now in blend we have like a 0 to 1 value. This we will use to lerp later. We put attribute transfer and transfer back the color. Okay, so that the color information that we are getting from here, we can transfer it back. Yeah, so we got the color and the blend attribute based on the color. Now we can go to our we can do our lerp. We'll put a attribute record. So we are going to do two lerp. So if you don't know what is lerp, lerp is like linear interpolation. It is kind of like blending, and we will use a third value, 0 to 1 value, to lerp between two values. You will see what I mean. This will be position lerp. We'll also do color lerp. So we need two positions actually. One is the current position of the grid, all the points. Then another position that is like slightly in front of this. So we'll create the new position. We'll call it new pose. The x y value will be the same, because if you see this is z axis. So set x and y we will take as it is. V at ct dot x. I'm sorry. V dot x. V at v dot y. But for the z value, we will add it with a variable called distance. V at v dot z plus chf distance. Yes. Cool. And now we can actually lerp v at v is equal to lerp. So this lerp function needs three inputs. The first input, the second input, the first and second input will be the position in our case, like between which we have to blend. Then the third one will be like the blend value. Okay, we already have an attribute for that. It is called blend. So the first value will be v at v. The second value will be the new position, v at new pose. The third one will be the blend attribute that we created. So this will have a value between 0 and 1, and we have it. But right now the distance is like 0. We can increase it. You can see we have this extrusion based on the black and white value that we created. We can turn on this add node, and you can see the particles are like extruded on the contrast edges of our image. So we have done the position lerp. We can do color lerp. Okay, we'll put a attribute wrangle node. So for color also we need two colors. We'll create two vector colors, but we will also blend it with the background color that we already have, the color value that we already have. So vector col1, we'll have col1 and col2. So we also have to lerp this between some color and the current CD attribute. So we'll create a color variable, chv col1. Then the second one will be just v at cd, the original color of the image. The third one will be the blend option. Okay, so we'll call this color blend 1. We'll do the same, but we'll call it color 2, and we'll change the variables. Yes. So now we have like two colors, and all we need to do is like blend between these two colors with the same blend attribute that we created. Okay, so v at cd equals lerp col1, then col2, and again the same blend value. We can also do one thing. We can multiply this blend value with another multiplier, so that we'll have some interesting color. You will see it later. We'll call it color multiplier, color multi, and that's it. So now we can start adjusting these things. So the color 1 that we are going to blend, I'll just keep it as red, Then the color 2 I'll keep it as blue, and let's start blending it. There might be some issue. Call to weird CD. Blend to. Okay. Yes. So using these sliders, you can blend between these two some colors, as well as you can also like blend between the original color of the image. So you can find some interesting value that you like. I kind of like this one. So we already have something interesting. Now we have to create the pin and copy it to the points. We'll put a spear, and we'll put a line first actually. So why I'm creating a line instead of the tube is we can take the 0th point and copy the spear. You'll see what I mean. Put a circle and then sweep it to get a tube. Connect the line to the first input and the circle to the second input, and you got a cylinder. It's inverted. Come to the circle and reverse it. Now you can adjust the radius, everything here only. So something like this, and we can adjust the height from the line's height. From the line we can delete the 0th point, and we can copy the spear to the first point to get a pin shape. We'll put a blast, and we'll put 0 here and points. So we have the upper point. We can copy 2 point. We can merge these two. There we have a simple pin. We can rotate it 90 degree, and then we can copy to these points that we created. So there is something wrong actually. What is happening is the pay scale attribute that we created, but we didn't give any value. We can start with something like this. So this is like according to your taste. These are like very small. I'll go 1.5. This may be like little too big. This looks okay. Or even I can decrease it. No, actually the thing is like we need to reduce the rows and columns back to the original. Just for the preview we had like very high value. So yeah, even having like very high amount of particles doesn't make it look good. So I thought like having an average amount of particles like making it look good. Now we can increase the particle size to match the size that you want. Yeah, this looks good, and uh, we can take a flip book. So if you can see, it already looks good, but there are like some issues here. If you see the edges of the image, the extrusion, the pu- the pins are like moving very fast, and it is like kind of distracting, and it also makes the effect less good visually. So what we can do is we can smooth out. So we'll have a very good flow in the animation. We'll put a null here in the points, and we'll call it out to smooth. And we are going to use chops to smooth out the motion. Chops is like another context in Houdini. We can do multiple things, including like working with audios and all. But we will use the filter node to actually reduce the movement. Like we'll smooth out the movement. It works wonders. We'll put a channel node and we'll create a chop net. And in the channel node, we have to give the chop net that we are going to use and change this from static to animated. Let's dive into chopnet, create a geometry. So this geometry node, we have to import the out to smooth null that we created, and change this also from static to animated. Now all we have to do is put a filter node, and this filter node will smooth out the animation. We don't have to do anything here, and we can just put a output node, come out, and if you visualize this, it's gonna take some time, but it will smooth out the animation. Yes. Now if you disable this node, you can clearly see like this is like very rigid and crooked, but if you turn it on, you have this very smooth texture in the extrusion. So this will also make our animation look really good. Now we can copy 2 points, and I'm going to take one more. I'm going to create one more flipbook. Yeah. Now if you see, we don't have that crooked movement. It is all very smooth, and this already looks very good. Now I'll show you how to render this in Mantra. You can experiment with multiple colors, videos, multiple type of videos. All we have to do is we already have the color attribute here. So Mantra can directly use the color attribute to render the colors. We'll put a null here. And we'll call it out. Now let's go to the material palette. You can just bring a principal shader. We'll call it pins. And in order to get the color value from our effects, we can put a bind. And in bind, we can give it a CD, and it should be a vector, and connect this to base color. Okay. You can also connect this color to other things, like for example, you can emit color, and you can emit light from this. So now I am going to connect this to base color and emit color. I can even give some emission. Okay. And that's it. Like we can assign the material here. We'll see a sample render. So if you have any comment on my tutorials, or if you have anything like I can improve, or any other new tutorial ideas that you have, like you can comment below, and I will see you all in the next tutorial. Thank you.